Good morning. This is call number 2020-09616 in the interest of Matthew Liam Rodriguez. Please, all parties raise your right hands to be sworn. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
You have to unmute yourself and verbally respond, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Jose M.
No,
Rodriguez.
ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Bianca, go ahead.
Oh, my apologies. This is my mother and father.
No. Who's the custodial parent here? Bianca Rodriguez.
Yes.
You're the mother?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're the mother of the children, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, your name and your relationship to the children.
Hello, I am Jonathan Perez. I am the father of Matthew Rodriguez.
All right, and for the state?
Sharday Parker for the state, Your Honor.
All right, and who are these other people?
These are Bianca's, with Jonathan is his witness, and then these are witnesses for Ms. Rodriguez. This is her mother, Ivelisse Rodriguez, and her father, Jose Rodriguez. These are her witnesses.
Okay. This is an original petition and a suit affecting the parent-child relationship with an acknowledgement of paternity, and we're having a hearing. Is that correct, Ms. Parker?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have any stipulations?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We have a stipulation as to the primary of the child will be with the mother, Bianca Rodriguez. We also have a stipulation regarding the child support. The amount will be $293 a month, with the medical support of $17.15 and dental support of $3.83, which the mother will carry through another source. And we also have an agreement on a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $3,746, which will be paid back at $80 per month.
All right, so far, is that your agreement, Mr. Eresante?
Just Perez, but yes, that's the agreement.
All right, and is that your agreement, Ms. Bianca Rodriguez, so far?
Sir.
Right.
All right, so the issues then are?
The issues are a name change, whether it will be joint managing conservatorship or sole managing conservatorship, and there's also an issue of whether a phase-in schedule will be ordered, whether there'll be a phase-in schedule ordered, and if there was a phase-in because the child is turned 1 in May. So if there is a phase-in where the beginning supervised visits would take place, he would like them to be supervised by his parents at his residence where they live, and she would like for them to be supervised by her parents at her residence where she lives, and also whether the child will remain in Harris and contiguous counties, or if there will be no geographic restriction placed on them.
Okay, hold on a second.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor, and also a non-disclosure.
All right, let's proceed.
Your Honor, I call Bianca Rodriguez.
All right.
Bianca, have you and Mr. Perez been able to co-parent thus far?
As far as visitation, being supervised and being able to
No, no,
cooperate,
ma'am. No, ma'am. That's not the question. Listen to the question. And
Do
you
you
might
feel
rephrase that. You might
okay?
rephrase that, Ms.
Do
Parker.
you feel like you and Mr. Perez are able to co-parent at this time? Which means, do you feel as if you can call him and say, I need this for the child, or we have a doctor's appointment, this is our doctor, this is when the doctor's appointment is. Do you feel like you guys can do those things at this time?
yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And have you been doing those things?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've told Mr. Perez the name of your child's doctors. He knows the names?
He's well aware, yes, ma'am, and as when we have our doctor's appointment as well.
Okay, and you would like for him to, you would like to be the sole managing conservator, correct? And why would you like to be the sole managing conservator?
Because Jonathan has proven that he cannot put Matthew as a priority, nor can he really make a decision in a crisis nor a non-crisis matter. He,
Okay, how has he proven that?
when it comes down to visitation and he comes over to see Matthew, if I ask him that we need diapers for Matthew, or if I need certain items, he will postpone it until that day of the visitation or maybe later. When it comes to needing certain supplies for Matthew, he'll postpone it to when he's able to bring it or provide it. So at the moment, he's not able to tend to Matthew, nor be able to make Matthew a priority. And when it comes down to having to get those things, I have to go to my father instead of him.
Has Mr. Perez been giving you around $125 per week since June of 2020?
He has gave me 125 every 2 weeks, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Since
Let me just clear the record here. Ms. Rodriguez, what is your age?
I am 18 and I will be turning 19 in November.
And Mr. Pettis, what is your age?
I'm 18. I'll be turning 19 in December.
Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to clear that up for the record.
No problem. And since he's been providing you with this money every 2 weeks, have you still asked him for diapers and things and he's still not provided them?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And why would you like the visits to be supervised by your parents at your home?
There have been multiple times that his parents have proven they do not have any care for Matthew. There has been threats being made. There has been his aggression towards me. He's gotten impatient with Matthew when he has been alone with Matthew. He's just proven to the point where if he's ever alone in a room with Matthew, if he can't get Matthew to calm down nor be able to handle the situation, he'll go and tell me, or he'll just tell me to handle it, pass me Matthew so I can calm him down because he's not able to. Or if it ever gotten to the point where his own family, just because of a last name, they've proven that they don't want to be involved in Matthew. They choose to be complete strangers to Matthew instead of being there and cherishing the little moments that Matthew is going through. Ever since he was born, they've been MIA. And as far as Jonathan, he doesn't have a priority sense for Matthew. He doesn't know his son. There's been multiple occasions that my mom and my dad have offered him the chance to be able to know his son. They've put as much as help as possible on the plate to be able to show Jonathan how to be a father and how to be able to take care of problems on his own, and he's yet to grasp onto that.
Okay.
As far as his sister, she and I have gone head to head, and she's disrespected me on multiple occasions. She's threatened me, and I've stopped her from coming for visitation simply because she has threatened me as well.
Okay, so just to be clear, all the visitation that you've offered Mr. Perez has been at your home to be supervised by your parents, correct? You've never offered him the opportunity to take his son on his own with his own family, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say threats have been made by his parents, what type of threats?
In the beginning, whenever when I came out from being discharged, I was still new to this mom thing. I was still going through what I was going through after giving birth, and I was breastfeeding. I was trying to continue my breastfeeding, and she tried to shut me down on being able to do that. She simply said, "Why don't you just formula feed him? It's better, and you never know, you may not be able to make enough milk, nor be able to do that. So it's just best you go ahead and formula feed him." She on multiple occasions I know for a fact, it's brought to my attention that she has bantered me behind my back.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'm
Dang.
sorry.
No,
Just
that's
tell me
object-
just tell me what you know, honey.
Yeah, not what other people.
Not what other people have told you. What you have seen yourself.
As far as her dad, as far as
What-
his dad, as far as Jonathan's dad, he's apologized on Jonathan's behalf in front of me and my mother because of how disrespectful Jonathan can maybe, or nor does Jonathan take the initiative to be able to do what he should be doing.
Okay, so just to be clear, they've never made any threats of violence against you. Well, his
Only
parents.
his parents, no ma'am.
Okay. And you said that Jonathan was aggressive with you in the past. What type of aggression are you talking about?
He has put his hands on me, he has gripped on me. If I ever try to walk away from a disagreement or an argument, he has pulled me. This was while I was pregnant and while I had already gave birth to Matthew. He has emotionally abused his power. He's said things, and he's also tried to he's also tried to he's made threats to where he's even tried
I'm
to
sorry,
kill.
I didn't understand that. Say that again.
He's made threats to where he would stop me from doing my own things. For example, if I ever tried to reach for my phone while he was going through it, he would try and threaten me by saying he'd climb on top of me.
But
To
did he
stop.
ever actually climb on top of you?
Yeah.
And when was this?
I don't remember the day specifically, but he has.
Was it in the last 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is your son's last name Rodriguez and not Perez?
At the time being that I was pregnant, he was MIA for the majority of my pregnancy. He did not help. He did not care for my health nor my well-being while we were in school. At the time, he's even said himself he did not want anything to do with me. He had told me he did not love me anymore, nor did he have any aspect of having a relationship with me until after Matthew was born. After going through that whole process, he made it clear he wanted nothing to do with me.
Okay, but that's why is Matthew's last name Rodriguez? Not if he wanted nothing to do with you. Why did you name
Well,
Matthew's last name Rodriguez and not Perez?
I mean that he at first wanted to hyphenate it. I did not want to hyphenate Perez and Rodriguez. I did not want to put Rodriguez because we were not together and we agreed that we didn't want to be together. And because I was told that if I ever were to put Perez, it would be permanent versus Rodriguez would be temporary.
And
No,
who told you it would be temporary?
the lady when we were staying for birth backs.
Okay, so it was never your intention for his name to be Rodriguez permanently?
Permanently, I wanted his name to be Rodriguez, yes.
Okay, so whether she told you it was temporary or not, you were gonna put his last name as Rodriguez, correct?
Because if I wanted to go and get it changed, it'd be a process, but it could be done.
Okay. And do you have any concerns, Mr. Perez, knowing your address?
No,
And are you also requesting that you have no geographic restriction on your case, meaning that you can move, like if you wanted to move out of the state or move out of Harris County or any of the counties that touch Harris County, that you would not have to get permission from Mr. Perez? Are you requesting that?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that.
Are you requesting that you be able to move out of Harris and contiguous counties, which means Harris County or any county that touches Harris County, without having to get Mr. Perez's permission, or if in case he said have to come back to court, are you requesting that you have the power to determine where you and Matthew live without a geographic restriction?
I mean, regardless, I would notify him if anything. That is his
That's a
dad.
yes or no. That's a yes or no. Are you
Ma'am, are you planning on continuing to live in Harris County?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So you don't have any, you don't have any plans to move out of Harris County or even the counties that surround Harris County, is that correct?
Yes,
You
sir.
don't have any plans for doing that. You think you'll probably live in Harris County pretty much for the rest of your life?
Probably, yes, sir.
All right, so who, geographical
well,
description, yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, Ms. Rodriguez, are you planning on joining the military?
Yes, ma'am, I was planning to leave December.
Okay, have you already signed your contract with the military?
No, ma'am.
Okay. That was why I was asking that, Your Honor.
All right, and also non-disclosure is not an issue, it sounds to me. Is that correct, Ms. Parker?
Yes, she did say she didn't have a problem with him knowing her address.
All right. Go ahead.
Ms. Rodriguez, do you believe that if Mr. Perez was to have supervised visitation, was to have a phase-in schedule with supervised visitation at his home with his parents supervising him, that your son would be safe?
No, ma'am, I don't think my son would be safe.
So you believe that him or one of his family members would put your son in danger or physically harm him?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on what?
Him himself, he has gotten impatient and aggressive, and like I said, his parents have shown that they do not have any interest nor care in Matthew. His parents have a background for partying, drinking, crashing vehicles. To me, it sounds they're just very irresponsible. And considering that they are immigrants, I would think be more careful for that.
Your Honor, no further questions. I pass this witness.
All right, Mr. Pettis, do you have any questions for her?
No.
Okay, call your next witness, Mr. Parker.
Your Honor, I call Jonathan Pettis.
All right,
Mr. Perez, are you requesting that Matthew's last name be changed to Perez?
Yes.
And did you want your child's last name to be Perez in the first place?
Yes.
And do you want to have joint managing conservatorship where you have a more of a say in what goes on with Matthew?
Yes.
Do you feel like Ms. Rodriguez does a good job of providing you the information that you need to adequately be a part of Matthew's life?
She gives enough information, but as the doctor's name, where the dentist is located and where the doctor building is. I do not have information of that. Yes, she does tell me the dentist appointment will be at 8. It will be like on October 3rd. She gives me information about it, but she does not give me names of doctors, names of places, none of that.
Okay, so she's never provided you with the names of the doctors so that she says there's an appointment. So you can't go. Can you go to the appointment without knowing who the doctor is?
I could not go because I would not know where the building is or who the doctor is of my own son.
And since your child has been born, has Miss Rodriguez ever allowed you to take your son on your own?
Never.
Has she ever allowed your parents to come over and visit your child while the child lives at her house?
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's allowed your parents into her home.
Yes.
And how often have you been able to visit your son while he lives with Miss Rodriguez?
Well, I'll typically say it'll be like once a week, my max 4 or 5 hours.
Have you ever asked for more time than 4 or 5 hours?
Uh, no, because at the same time, I don't want to go too early and leave so late because I feel like before 12 is way too early. They're just getting up. So that's why I make the to go visit like at 2 or 1 and leave like at 7.
Do you feel comfortable having the visitation with her parents supervising you?
Not really. I feel very uncomfortable at their house.
And why do you feel uncomfortable at their house?
Well, there's been a couple of times where the mother has actually called the neighbor, some person that me and him do not get along very well, purposely when I'm at her house with Matthew, just to make me uncomfortable. Bianca has confirmed it. Um, they have spoken about, like, she said once in the kitchen, like, oh, we don't have money at the moment because someone doesn't give us money, out loud, making me feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm sorry, I have not a good job. I was working at McDonald's getting a $7 per hour, but now that I have a good job, I actually provide more for her than I did before. So it's been a couple of times, but the thing is that I don't get is that I've never been violent with my son because I'm always being supervised by her mom, if it's not with her, and her dad. So I don't get how I've been violent.
Do you feel like being supervised by your parents gives you an opportunity to really learn how to take care of your son?
I'm sorry, you said my parents?
No, her parents, by her parents, being supervised by her parents. Do you feel like that gives you a real opportunity to really get to know how to raise your son while they're watching you?
Hmm. Not really, because I would love to do more. I would love to get out of the house and do things. But I'm stuck in 4 walls for 4 hours, just walking from the living room to the kitchen. It doesn't really give me a lot of knowledge of what I should do
Okay.
and how to bond good with my son.
Okay. But you would prefer to just start a standard possession order now, which means you would get your son every Friday at 6 p.m. and return him at 6 p.m. on Sunday, correct?
Yes, I would love that.
And if the judge decided that you had to have some type of phase-in schedule because of the child's age, you would prefer that it was supervised by your parents at your home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever been physically violent with Bianca in the past? Has that ever happened?
No, I have never been violent with her. And this is the thing I don't get, because if I've been violent with her, we would not be here asking for child support. She would be here asking for a restraining order because I would be a violent person. And if I was to be a violent person, they would not have let me in their household anymore because I'm a danger for her mom and everybody in their household. And if that was also the case, she would not want to be with me anymore because I'm a violent person. So, which is
Okay,
why,
okay.
Okay.
Ms. Parker, this really has to do with non-disclosure, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just move on. We don't need to, we don't need that.
Okay. Your Honor, now would be I have no further witnesses. These are her witnesses. Now will be her turn. I don't have any more witnesses or any more questions for them regarding.
Well, wait a minute, Mr. Rodriguez, do you have any questions for Mr. Pettis?
Miss Rodriguez, Bianca, he's talking to you. Do you
Bianca
have-
Rodriguez, do you have any questions for Mr. Pettis?
What are your intentions
I'm sorry, that's too broad.
as far as for Matthew, now that you've said that you no longer want anything to do with the military?
Objection, Your Honor. States facts not in evidence. He hasn't said that here today.
Nobody's mentioned anything about the military except you, ma'am.
Okay.
You have
No
another question? You have a question? You're gonna, you can ask him if he's gonna go into the military. If you wish.
No, sir.
Same question was asked of you. Mr. Pettis, are you planning on joining the service?
No, Your Honor.
No. Did you ever talk about it?
Yes, I was actually considering at first the Army, but then the Marines, but then I decided I would not like to do that anymore.
Okay, and that's the same with you, Miss Bianca Rodriguez, that you at one time thought that you might enlist in the military service?
Yes.
And are you still thinking about that?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Pettis?
No, sir.
All right. Call your next witness, Ms. Parker.
Your Honor, I don't have any other witnesses. The
All
other
right.
are there.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Bianca Rodriguez, do you have any witnesses you wish to present?
Yes, I would like to present my mother.
All right, call her to the stand. Ms. Rodriguez, Ivelis, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is
Ms.
Yvette.
Ivelis Rodriguez, please. You're not coming through. Are you close to a microphone there? Or-
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Problems? It says our internet connection is unstable. Hold on a second. All right, say it again, Miss Rodriguez, Mrs. Rodriguez,
I'm Yvette,
your relationship to the child.
grandmother of Matthew Rodriguez.
Okay, I can hear you clearly now. All right, Miss Bianca, please ask her whatever question you need to ask her.
When you received that phone call from Miss Thibodeau, do you remember exactly what she stated and what she told you?
Yes.
Hold on. That's the first time I hear the name Thibodeau. Who in the world is that?
Miss Thibodeau is the school counselor.
All right.
She's a school counselor. I received a phone call from her during Bianca being in her junior year, stating that there was an incident that occurred in a hallway where Jonathan Perez pulled on Bianca forcefully. A teacher acknowledged that he was being aggressive and took
Your
her.
Honor, objection, hearsay, because this is all.
All right, sustain.
Party.
That's hearsay, ma'am. You have another question for her, Miss Bianca?
As far as Jonathan visiting for his visitation, did you do anything to make him feel uncomfortable, or did you sense that he felt uncomfortable?
Every time Jonathan asks to visit for his son is when he gets to see his son. We do our best to accommodate his schedule. He does seem nervous. I've done everything in my power to make him as comfortable as I can with giving him access to the first floor of my home, including the outsides. We were in an understanding that because Matthew was an infant before he turned 1, we were wanting visitation to be in our home. never limiting him to be able to access Matthew's toys. I've given him opportunity to learn how to care for Matthew, feed Matthew, change Matthew, bathe Matthew. He seemed very, very unexperienced, of course, considering, he's young, it's his first son. And the reason why we preferred the visitation was to be able to teach him, coach him, guide him. I have not given him any reason to feel uncomfortable within my home. I've cooked for him. I've cooked for his family, including his grandma visiting from out of town. I've had his entire family, as far as his dad, his mom, his sister, his grandmother within my home, being able to have any access to be able to interact with Matthew. My concern is that his parents have expressed that they are unsure of the paternity. They've expressed the lack of love for him because they said that there's no
Your Honor,
guarantee.
objection hearsay, because again, this is what other people have said.
Sustain. You can't tell me what other people have said, man. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, let me ask a question. Who do you live with?
Both my parents.
No, Miss, your mother, the
This-
witness.
This is my home.
Who do you live with, ma'am?
My husband and my 5 children.
Who do you live with? Who's that lives in your home?
Jose Rodriguez, my husband. Bianca Rodriguez, my daughter. Jose Julian Rodriguez, my son. Brittany Rodriguez, my daughter. And my 2-year-old twins, Leland Rodriguez, Bella Rodriguez, and Matthew.
And so these are all part of your immediate family, correct?
Correct.
Okay, you have another question for her, Miss Bianca?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay, Mr. Pettis, do you have any questions for the child's grandmother?
No.
All right,
Your Honor, I have
Yes.
one question.
all right.
Ms. Rodriguez, are you saying that all the things that you were trying to teach him in terms of being a parent, that his parents couldn't have taught him those things?
They have not shown any interest.
Okay, thank you.
All right, do you have any other witnesses, Miss Bianca?
I still have my father, Jose Rodriguez.
All right, is he muted?
Yes.
All right, you have to unmute yourself, Mr. Okay, go ahead, ask a question if you wish.
This is the process of putting Matthew on your insurance.
Bianca, we can't hear you.
I don't know
What,
that-
hold on a minute. What is that noise?
He's at work.
Your Honor, currently at my job.
Okay, all right. It's very difficult to hear sometimes. Go ahead, Miss Bianca, ask the question if you wish.
When putting Matthew on your insurance, on your medical insurance,
Okay, when did I put Matthew on my medical insurance? I put Matthew on the medical insurance since the time he was born. Because I know as a parent, you should have medical insurance on your kids since the day they were born for any
Objection, Your
medical.
Honor, non-responsive after when he was
Sustain.
born.
Sustain. Okay, sir, just answer the question, okay? Go on ahead, Miss Bianca, you have another question for him?
no, sir.
All right, Mr. Pettis, do you have any question for Mr. Rodriguez?
No questions.
All right, anything further, any questions for him, Ms. Parker?
No.
All right. Do you have any further witnesses, Miss Bianca?
No,
All right, Mr. Pettis, do you have any witnesses you wish to present?
Yes, I have my sister here, Melissa Perez.
All
She
right,
is.
go ahead. Ask her. Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship in this case. Ma'am,
My name is Melissa Perez. You can-
Me and my sister.
and I'm Jonathan's sister.
all right. Now go ahead, Mr. Pettis. Ask her any questions you wish.
Have
in
I
regard-
ever? Okay. Have I ever been violent to Bianca?
He has never been violent to Bianca. They have arguments, but never violent.
Have I ever been violent when you've been at their house? Have I ever been violent to Matthew?
He has never been violent to Matthew.
And as terms of money, because Bianca says I never gave her money. Did I
No,
ever?
that's not
Your
what you
Honor,
said, sir.
objection.
That's not what she said. She said you give her $125 every 2 weeks.
But she says that before he was born and all that, that I never gave her money, which is not true because I would
Well,
give her in
okay,
cash. But,
I'm only concerned from the date that the child was born.
okay. Well, I have no further questions then.
All right, Miss Bianca, do you have any questions of Mr. Pettis?
no, sir.
All right, Miss Parker, do you have any questions of the sister?
No.
All right, do you have any further witnesses, Mr. Pettis?
No.
All right, so we have a final argument here. Ms. Parker?
Your Honor, the state is just requesting that you make a decision which is in the best interest of the child, whether joint managing conservator or sole managing conservator, and also as it relates to whether he will have a standard possession or a phase-in possession, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Bianca, do you have anything you want to say now to me?
Your Honor, everything that he is saying that has not happened nor occurred has proof. It has been put on file. There's proof that his parents are abusive, even to him. There's proof that he has put his hands on me. There's proof.
Okay, but you have not presented any proof.
Because I don't have those files, the school does.
Okay, now I'm just saying that, you're talking about things that you're saying that it's happened, but I haven't heard any testimony about that. So you have anything further?
No, sir.
Mr. Pettis, do you have anything you want to tell me?
Well, I do actually. She talks about threats and me being aggressive, but I have some screenshots here that says that that if I was to be with somebody else, which is not her, that I'll be a dead man. And I can show you the screenshot right now. Well, I have images.
Well, I don't need to see that. That's fine. You're telling me that. That's fine.
Yes.
That you would be a better man if you were with her. Is that right? Okay.
Your Honor, that's not what he said.
No, I said that she said that I would be a dead. I'm sorry. She has said that if I was to be with somebody else, that I would be a dead man, like dead.
Oh, you would be a bad man. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I
dead, like
misunderstood.
dead, like
Dead, Your Honor. He said dead.
Dead man. Okay. So she threatened you.
yes.
correct?
And I have a picture to prove my situation right here.
Okay, that's fine. I believe. Anything further?
No, other than that, actually, no, that's it. That's about it.
All right.
Well, actually, yes, I have another thing to say.
All right.
She said that my parents are like partying people, which is years back, let's say 4 years ago. And she talks about car crashings, but I'm sorry to mention that she did not mention that they got in a car accident by a truck that ran a red light and just knocked them out of the bridge, under the bridge, and like crashed the car like completely. She did not say that, and she said that they drink and stuff. But I know that when I go to her house, I see beer in the refrigerator, but I don't see nothing as bad because it's okay to drink. But I'm not saying for her to come here and say that my people are alcoholic and that they're immigrants, because that has nothing to do with the good state of Matthew. Because I know well that if Matthew was to be here, me, my family as a team, we could help and we could raise Matthew well, just how I did with them. Because they say that I was at their house because they wanted to teach me, but it's something my parents as well, they could have taught me as well.
Your Honor, I think you've frozen.
Um,
Yeah, you're still frozen.
What is your mother's name, Mr. I'm frozen? Mr.
Yeah,
Pettis, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what is your mother's last name?
Sante.
Okay, and your father's name is Pettis, is that correct?
Yes.
It's frozen again.
Yes.
Okay. All right, the court finds that this is in the best interest of the child. Mother and father appointed joint managing conservators. Fathers to have a modified possession and access with the maternal grandmother supervisor when indicated. Only the maternal grandmother and her immediate family are to be present during periods of visitation or pickup and delivery. And pickup and delivery will be at maternal grandmother's residence. The child's surname shall henceforth be Pettis hyphen Rodriguez. Geographical restrictions to Harris or continuous counties, unless the mother enlisted in the military service. All other stipulations are approved. Do we have anything else?
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard that. So you're saying he's to have a modified possession order to be supervised by Ms. Rodriguez here?
Yes, and let me, I didn't say how many periods.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
didn't
be-
say how many periods,
Okay,
Your
it's
Honor.
gonna be for 8 periods.
8 periods supervised. 8 periods of visitation.
Each phase.
Each phase is 8 periods. Okay, so just so we're clear, the first phase is the phase that's supervised. And that's
Correct.
8 periods. And then the rest of them, he will be able to take the child with him after these 8 to do the other phases.
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions, Ms. Parker?
I just want to be clear. So after he'll start the regular standard possession order after he's completed all of this, which includes the holidays and everything, that will all start after he's completed the modified term.
Exactly. Standard possession after completion.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Just give us 1 second. Wait till she takes it off of YouTube.